Hi, I hope you're doing well. So again, I want to remind you, if you are watching this video from my YouTube channel, please join the course. It is for free. You can download all these mind maps, PDFs, and Word files, and then you can use them to improve your IELTS speaking score. So let's just start and see how we generated this idea. The question was, describe a person you would like to study or work with. So I have chosen a person that I like to work with. Who the person is, why would you like to work with him or her, and what will you work on? So in the first part, I'm going to describe who the person is and always make it simple for you. The first thing I want to teach you is make it simple, because if you're going to make it complicated, you're not going to be able to remember it. So in the first part, I'm going to say, the person I would love to work with is someone who is. So let's see how. For example, the person I would love to work with is my best friend who is a successful businesswoman. So always choose a person in your field. This is my suggestion, because you're going to have enough ideas to talk about it. If you're an artist, say, okay, is my best friend who is a successful artist. If you're, for example, manager, if you're a designer, choose something that you have enough idea to talk about it. Next part. Usually my students do not use present perfect. I mean, candidates do not use present perfect. You can simply say, we have been friends since. That's going to increase your chance to get a higher score on grammar. So look at here. Her name is Sarah, and we have been friends since childhood. So really simple structure you can have. Continue with present perfect. I have always been impressed with her dedication and drive. Again, I said you can choose two other nouns in your field, but the most important point is I have always been impressed with her. Idea number one, idea number two. So choose two specific points that you want to talk about later. I think that's the first stage. I want you to pause the video and practice just this part. Just practice these 3 sentences and try to make the most of it. Pause the video and do it. Do not skip any instructions, okay? All right, I hope you practice that. Let's move on to part 2. Part 2, we want to talk about why you want to work with her. So I highly recommend you to start with this structure. One of the main reasons, this is going to give you a guidance what you want to say. Always remember, choose 2, maximum 3 reasons. And that's the most important part of your answer. So let's see why I have chosen to work with her. I said, one of the main reasons I would like to work with Sarah is because of her professionalism. So my idea is because of her professionalism. Now let's move here. Look, make it simple for yourself, and you can use this pattern in many other questions. I would like to work with her is because of. So I want you to change this and say something that you want to talk about. Now it's time to explain it. At this point, you have to explain it why. So here, I mentioned that she always conduct herself in a manner that is respectful and considerate of others. So based on the idea you have, you can develop it. So this one is also a good one. I really like it. Conduct herself in a manner that. Later, in the next stage that we have, you're going to have online exercises to remind you what were the good collocations that you can use. For example, conduct yourself in something. Moving to the second one, always use transition words. Get a higher score. And, or here, I said, additionally. But before you choose the next one, okay, explain why this is, for example, a characteristic you have chosen. I said, I believe this trait would be valuable in any work environment. So that's the most important point you have to remember, I believe. Look at here. Just gonna choose this column. So valuable in. So here I have also written for you, I believe this trait with valuable in. That's the whole point. So I said in any work environment. So it's time to move to the second one. But before I move to the next one, I want to explain how. Choose a topic like professionalism. For example, you can say she's hilarious. If you say she is hilarious, it means she's funny. Explain it. Why you think she's funny? You can say, oh, she always cracks a joke. Yeah. And then explain why do you think it is important using it is valuable in. That's going to be very clear to follow. It's time for your next idea here. Additionally, she is very organized and detail-oriented. I'm going to choose the word detail-oriented as my second idea. So organized and detail-oriented. Again, explain why it is important or how is it going to help you. So I said, I believe would be beneficial again in. So it would be beneficial in any project we undertake together. So far, you learned to develop two ideas, explain it, okay, and say, why is it important? Remember, the phrases you have to work on are valuable in, beneficial in. These are the phrases you have to remember. I'm gonna underline these phrases for you. One sec, so you can see how you can use them in a better way. So the ideas we had were professionalism and detail-oriented. Good phrases. I always recommend my students to use good phrases. The phrases that you can use, I'm going to use underline, is would be valuable in. Definitely you have to remember this one. Again, which I believe would be beneficial in, to explain it. So when you choose professionalism, explain what is professionalism to you. Just one sentence, explain it, and then why it is important. So I said, conduct herself in a manner that is respectful and considerate. And the next one, I just explained that it's detail-oriented. I didn't explain that, I would just say, when is it going to be helpful? When we undertake projects. Done. Pause the video again, and I want you to practice this part. Let's say, do not continue watching before practicing this part. That's really important. All right. I hope you practice. Now, the next part that I want to teach you is how to generate idea. And all of my students know that I suggest them to read a book called Whatever You Think the Opposite. That's a book that I highly recommend you download it, okay, or buy the Kindle form or the paper one and learn it. So why is that? At this stage, students usually have no idea what to say. And one way you can generate more ideas is to talk about yourself. What are the areas you're not good at it? And you think, for example, your friend, my friend Sarah is good at it, and she can complement you. So for example, if you're not good at communication skills, say it. I'm not good at this one. Oh, quite the opposite. Which areas are you good at that you think if you and Sarah work together, you can complement each other? Let's just check it together, what I mean by that. So here I mentioned, if we were to work together, that's a really nice structure, formal structure. If we were to work together, I think we would have made a great team in developing a new business idea or projects. Constantly show you have a good command of English using correct form of prepositions. So yeah, developing team in developing. Sarah has a wealth of knowledge, of experience, again, in business. That's area examiners pay attention to, and would be a great asset in this area. Now, here is the point I told you. It's time to talk about yourself. But the key word I want you to remember is I, on the other hand. So let's say it's going to develop your answer. You can develop your answer using I, on the other hand. That's something I highly recommend you use it. Have a strength, again, in creativity and innovation, which would complement her set skills. So the point, reminder, say something that you're good at it, and the structure is I have a strength in, I am good at. So I do not recommend you to say I am good at, because that's band 5 or band 6, but have a strength in is better one. So then together we could come up with some great ideas and execute them. Hope you enjoyed this part as well. Again, pause the video, try to develop your own ideas and own answers. Please do not proceed before developing your own ideas. Okay, I just wrote this at the end as a conclusion. You do not need a conclusion in the speaking part, just for the review part to see what we have. I'll just say in conclusion, I would be thrilled to, so again, preposition, thrilled to work with Sarah because of her professionalism, organizational skills, and business expertise. I believe that we would make a great team, and I look forward to opportunities to collaborate with. So I think one area you noticed today, I emphasized a lot, was prepositions. Usually, students do not pay enough attention to prepositions, or they make mistakes with prepositions. That said, in the next stage, what you need to do is here. Give me one sec. I want to give me that. Okay, yes, here. I want you to move to part 4 of our lesson and do the online quizzes. Please do not skip these online quizzes. The reason is, I'm going to show you why they are important. So look, the person I would like to work with is my best friend, who is, which one? A successful businesswoman. Pay attention. I intentionally chose the good collocations, prepositions, okay, for the fill in the blanks. What I mean is that do the exercise before you submit, before you move to the next part. Think about it. Why successful businesswoman is important? Because that's a good collocation. Look at here, or it's related to grammar, and we have been friends. This is an area always my students forget to use present perfect. You can simply get a higher score if you use present perfect. I have always been impressed with her dedication and drive. My students simply say, oh, I admire her dedication. Just say, I have always been impressed with her, or I have always admired her dedication and drive. So now you know the importance of these online quizzes. So you have 3 part. Just pay attention. They are designed at 2 level, intermediate and upper intermediate level. When you download this PDF, you can see my upper intermediate sample as well. So if you think this is easy for you, I highly recommend you read the upper intermediate sample. But if that was okay for you, first improve your level from band 5 to 6, 6.5, then go for the higher. So yeah, that's looking forward to seeing you in the next stage. Bye.